who I'm actually looking at it. You have Jordan on there. Jordan is another TO.
InkSync is a wonderful team. There are two main members. They are Australian LAN TOs. Amazing props to them. They
Australian, okay.
Yes, they
coming
run,
out from Australia here at G5.
Yeah, they run all the Oceanic tournaments.
Awesome.
I love them, and they needed a fourth, and Jordan was the perfect match.
Awesome.
We are in on Port Mackerel Tower Control. What do you think about this?
Port Mackerel Tower Control is the Stingray dream. And now that I say that, I look and there's only one Stingray in this game. Frank's Hotdogs coming out with the Stingray on the Dynamo of all weapons. And there's actually 0 Stingrays on the side of InkSync, which is a very, very questionable decision in my IMO.
So if you've been following Splatoon at all, you would realize that this kind of meta is no more because just an hour ago, I guess, the 52 Gal Deco released to Stingray City with a curling bomb, and I'm sure Port will never be the same.
Yeah, Port Mackerel, you're never going to see a Port Mackerel game without a 52 Deco.
But that weapon is actually banned for this tournament because we're not going to allow something to come in halfway through the event. But regardless of that, we have InkSync going on a
3 players down now. InkSync, despite not having that Stingray, they're showing us they don't need it.
And we have this Rapid Blaster on tower, a truly scary weapon, just able to pressure those choke points that they would use to push back in.
Jordan just exploded. There's 3 players down now on the side of InkSync. Frank's Hotdogs are doing a good job at defending. Blush is the last one, only alive because that Inkjet was able to keep them alive, but they are being pressured up there. They can't really do much. If I were them, I'd probably just jump out, and they're going to die, which is going to delay their next push even longer. They also lost some charge on their next Inkjet. Not the position you want to be in, but InkSync, they weren't happy with 52 points. They're trying to run it back right now.
Something crazy about InkSync right now is, unlike American squads...
I didn't think that was going to kill him.
God. Enbird coming in with the baller right now, trying to find a second pick, sees that ink armor running out, does get the kill with a little bit of help from Katie, and they are off and running.
This is such a kill-heavy game right now. If you look up, it's not very often that you see all 8 players alive at once. Peach somehow still alive, despite all the fire coming in from Blush on the end zap, and it's so interesting to see InkSync winning these team fights so often, but they can't get that tower past 52 points.
This is such a hard map to push on too. If you look to the left right now of the tower, that little spot up top, you can just sit there and camp the tower, and it's kind of a fail-solve.
Splatter shot, Junior.
Alleycat showing us that the meta is not defined today, and they're winning with it, so who knows?
Yeah. Punchel going to get taken out from Jordan from below there with that splatter shot. I believe it is the splatter shot. It is not. It is an end zap. And Jordan is actually going to drop there. And they're up 3v3 now, 2v3 on this push. They have an Inkjet at the ready from that Splash-O-Matic. And it looks like they don't need it.
Katie really should have tried to heal up there. Coming into that engagement was almost already all green. That's not really going to matter. Peach is on the tower just trying to stay alive. Right. The hardest thing about a Dynamo on tower is you have no mobility. You're kind of a sitting duck.
I mean, a Dynamo in general is you have no mobility, so you're a sitting duck. And what Blush did there was they stayed on the tower and they pushed past their entire team. And, you know, normally I'd say that's a bad idea, but somehow InkSync is now down 3 players, so maybe it was a good idea.
And it looks like they're finally starting their first push of the game. This kill here is crucial.
Looking for the kill on the sponge. They don't want to.
Okay, definitely better to play safe sometimes.
Right.
Just stay alive, help your team push.
Staying alive is more important than getting kills in most cases. So, fantastic decision.
Oh my goodness, and showing us the importance of rain right there, putting that tower track in its halt. And we see about halfway to a bomb rush. Definitely going to need a little bit to push back into the side of Frank's Hotdogs.
Right, they are going to find a pick on the Blaster as well as the Junior, but is it going to be enough to push back? I don't think it is, because now they're down 2 players as well. They've got the Dynamo, and on Port Mackerel, the Dynamo can't really give you too much momentum to work with due to the lanes.
And this is an 8-point game. Really, I think on Port, games are always super close until you get that first checkpoint, because after that, it's so easy to steamroll, and no team has really done that yet.
Yeah. Stingray is going to find the person up top. They're going for it. Most likely not going to get the kill. Yep. Blush doing what they can to the side of this tower, but the push
and Bard coming in, and he has that baller. This is going to be a guaranteed
This is momentum
push.
right here. This is Splatoon. This is momentum because they're going to find those 2 picks. They have the baller at the charge. They're going to use it to get some more court control. Finding more picks. That is now 2 players down. The tower's in the court. This could be the lead. 1 minute left in the game.
They keep on getting off of the tower. That was their prime opportunity, and because of that, they are 1 member alive, and Blush is able to save it.
And yep, that's 3 players down, just a Dynamo left, so you cannot expect to wipe the enemy team and get this push. There's 1 minute left, and it's exactly as you said, AC. You cannot just jump off the tower when you're trying to make that push. Because they didn't constantly push the tower, they didn't make it down to that 59-point mark that they're looking for.
I know it's crazy for a lot of the squids that play solo queue, but objective is important.
It's not team deathmatch.
Oh my goodness. And speaking of deathmatch, though, only one alive on the side of Frank's Hotdogs. Now, 20 seconds to go. They're going to need a miracle.
Yep, they're making a InkSync is making it very, very difficult for Frank's Hotdogs to win this game right now.
But Katie does actually get 2 picks right now. Just needs to stay fully healthy.
The map is entirely green. The map is entirely green, so even if they do keep this push going, it's going to be difficult. And no, Blush is going to clean up the tower. And 2 seconds left. They do get overtime.
That overtime was actually pretty surprising. I didn't know where that player came from.
So InkSync taking game 1 off Frank's Hotdogs. In this is Group C of G5's pools.
Yes, and something that I just want to really discuss during this little downtime right now is InkSync has just a natural leg up in comparison to the Western players. Because 2 of their players, Nico Zara and Alicia Cat, all they do is face Japanese solo queue lobbies.
Yeah, right, because they're Australian, right?
Yep. They say, I was talking to them earlier, and there is a very, very minimal chance to ever get an Australian lobby, and if you do, it's going to be at a low rank.
Yeah.
So they are always fighting their butts off against the players that would kick my butt in Splatoon 1. The funniest comment I heard was Nikozar came up to me and went, "I have gained 3 ranks tonight being in America. I love your solo queue lobbies."
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Japanese scene being so strong, it kind of elevates very quickly. But the players here that we do have at this tournament have shown that they can hold up against a lot of the Japanese teams.
Oh yes, definitely we have some of the top teams right now, and we just continue as the Western scene develops to take those higher places in the Japanese tournaments.
In Splatoon 1, it was like no question that Japan was just better than the West, but in Splatoon 2, it's kind of a toss-up. There's a lot of really good Western teams competing for that top spot.
And that's what makes it so much fun, honestly. And I'm really excited to see where this develops. I definitely foresee a World Cup on the horizon. I'm really hoping for one, fingers crossed.
Yep.
I know Spot Championships is doing that thing with
E3?
Platinum Cup.
Maybe E3?
I would cry.
That would be awesome.
Here are pleads. But we see them right now. Frank's Hotdog doesn't look too deterred, though. Frank's Hotdogs is a team that, tell the truth, did not win, I think, a single match of their Squid Storms pools. But they brought it back, and they were unstoppably dominant in bronze bracket. So it shows this team has gumption.
Right. They won the bronze bracket at Squid Storm, so
which was honestly one of the best matches we had.
Right,
that
absolutely.
Entire tournament.
And like, so it's obvious that these people are no strangers to competition. And I think right now versus a team like InkSync, which might be a little bit of a higher caliber, all they got to do is just play solid. They got to minimize the mistakes they make, and they should be able to take it.
And we see 2 weapons coming out with Ninja Squid this round. We see the Sploosh, and I believe it was the Splash. So there's definitely going to be a lot of sneaking and poking, trying to get in for a Clam Blitz dunk.
Yeah, the thing about curling bombs is on Clam Blitz, you know, your movement is so important, especially because one single player can capture the objective themselves. So having a sploosh and having a roller to move around the map really fast is really, really good. But the thing about that is with a sploosh and a roller, you give up a lot of your utility and your paint control options.
Wait, and as we're saying this right now, we have 2 players that basically have a football. They are just crushing it right now.
See one clam. Someone throw a clam and nope, okay.
Sometimes it's like that.
And Peach isn't able to find these picks up from the top on their stack there. And again, it's when you have these 2 weapons that have the curling bombs and can roll around, you know, there's no 52 deco yet, so it's like these weapons can't paint per se. The sploosh can kind of paint, but slowly.
Yes.
The roller can't paint.
A very important thing with Clam Blitz, as we're already seeing, is it doesn't really matter how many kills you get. It matters if you can get your teammates the clams and if you can have that kind of coordination to the goal.
Peach is playing the roller like a dynamo right now, and for some reason it's working. I like this. This is interesting. New play style.
Nico's, what are you doing? Just walking straight into the yellow ink. That was an easy kill for Bard. Trying to get a splash down right here, hoping to make something happen, but does need to kind of back off.
Bard, yep.
Not soon enough, it looks like.
The thing about the Sploosh-O-Matic is that once they're called out, they're pretty useless, because all you got to do to kill a Sploosh-O-Matic, it's the same thing as an Octobrush. You just got to like hold back and shoot.
Yeah, just walk backwards. Oh god, and that is a quick 20 points on the side of Frank's Hotdogs, in the lead for the first time in the series.
Trying to get the other football in, but unfortunately not enough time. That is going to be a full wipe, a very slow and rolled out full wipe. Oh, I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness, Peach just trying their best to stay alive, and we actually don't have that many clams on the side of InkSync already. Usually you see 25, 30 clams at this point, but they only have enough for 2 footballs.
And they do actually have that, the pity football, as most players like to call it. Once your goal gets open and then it closes, it drops a free football for you to use as a counter push. Ailcat coming in behind the sploosh here. They are going to use that barrier to stay alive, and they are going to find that trade. Jordan unfortunately dropping. Ailcat actually in a pretty okay spot to get a push right now. You just got to go. No!
Oh my god, and we just completely missed that, and that's one of the main perils of Clan Blitz. I can't count the amount of times I've seen someone throw a football only to have the other team's goal just open.
Absolutely, and like, if you think about other game modes, it's like the objective is centralized. There's one objective, and like you can always see it. In Clan Blitz, the objective is all over the map, and every player controls it. So sometimes these things happen. 80 points, goals open. They just need some more clams. 3 players down. Now on the side, they do get the lead. 4 players down. Triple kill coming out
The
from
bomb
Nico.
rush showing so strong in this mode where you are so centralized, and they were just too focused on stopping that timer, and it really came in their butt.
Roller does get the pick. Bard doing what they can. They got to stay alive. They need to hold this map control. Okay, so the goal is going to close.
Finally, and I'm sure Frank's Hot Dog is just happy to have just a moment to breathe right now. Anytime you see that timer dropping so much, you just kind of get stressed, and you don't really know what to do and need to make sure you don't freak out.
Oh, could have been a double kill.
So close. Blush showing a strong aim, but does eventually go down to a trade right there. And there's
another deathmatch.
There's just a football sitting. Is anyone going to be able to pick it up?
Oh, they got to grab it. You got to throw it. You got to throw it. Oh, they got it in. Okay. So that is down to 60 points now on the side of Frank's Hot Dogs. They maybe have clams going in. It doesn't really look like it. Oh, the sploosh coming in from behind. That could be. Oh, that could have been really big. Wait. There's one more. That is going to be the lead. And another football down to 16 points now. Frank's Hot Dog.
Making this a game. That was a fantastic response.
They're not done yet.
And they might get the knockout here.
This push is still up. Just one more clam. One more clam. Katie,
they have two clams. They have two clams.
She doesn't have any. Oh, they get the knockout.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm happy to not commentate a 3-0.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I look forward to.
Yeah. I don't think I've commentated a 3-0 yet. No, I have. Have I?
This has honestly been the most exciting pool when it comes to streamed matches, just from watching from the sidelines.
I feel like there was one of my matches that wasn't a 3-0, but now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure they were all at least 3-1.
And I definitely want to bring some highlight to Katie right there. Does have that star showing over level 100, level 102 to be exact.
Yeah, I was talking to her last night. Apparently she got that like the day before this tournament.
Hey,
yeah,
that's it. It definitely showed top frag right there. Led most of the pushes. And we're going to be going into Splat Zone's Humpback. How many bubbles are you expecting to see? Bubbles rule this map.
70. And that's not a number that I just pulled out from nowhere.
It seems like it sometimes.
Because I've actually had scrims where you count up the amount of bubble blowers used at the end of the match.
Okay.
And it's literally 70. Not even figuratively 70, it's literally 70.
I just think, I think back to the day when Bubble Blower was announced and everyone's like, it's not even strong.
It's not that good.
It's bad.
And it went completely unbuffed, and now it's considered the best special in the game.
Shout out to Bread, a member of the team Comrades, was one of the first person who believed in the Bubble Blower, and everyone was calling him crazy.
SRL too used it a lot when it came out, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just so strong at controlling the purpose of this game, which is space.
Yep.
You can't push into it. You can push into it now after the nerf, just a little bit more.
Yep.
We saw Set to Destroy X actually just destroying
Shred the bubbles. Yeah, Power is using the bomb rush.
Crazy.
And the thing about the bubbles is that if you don't deal with them, they're going to take the zone. It's as simple as that. And normally people do use the bubbles to take a zone or to make a push for some clams or the Rainmaker, etc., etc.
And I do like the nerf because it is possible now with coordination.
The nerf was needed.
You're rewarded to coordinate and destroy the bubbles. It's possible. It didn't really used to be.
Absolutely. They didn't nerf the bubbles in a way that made them useless, which is fantastic. The Splatoon team has always done a pretty above average job of balancing this game.
And as we're actually looking right now, do I not see a single bubble?
No bubbles. So we talked about all that bubble for nothing.
Well, I'm sure next game we'll see a bunch.
Sure,
next set. But it looks like these teams are pretty confident with their main weapons, so we've been seeing a lot of the similar comps.
Dynamo coming in from the side. And the Dynamo on Humpback Pump Track is actually useful. I'd say this is probably one of the Dynamo's better maps.
You just hit...
Whoa, they're alive.
Oh my gosh. I think they were ink armored.
Yeah.
Okay, but for the Dynamo, yeah, you can just sit right in that drop down and rain hell from above like it's Splatoon 1. And as we're saying that, Katie is dueling, gets a kill on 2, barely alive. It was.
That was a 2v1, finding both of those picks. Unfortunately going to drop to the Junior, who's just pushed onto zone with the armor there.
Okay, and we have Jordan coming from spawn, hoping to get an ink armor, make sure they can keep the zone. It even looks like they can cap it right now.
2 players down, but the Dynamo's still up. They need to do something about that Dynamo so they can't just get a free zone capture with some momentum there. Armor does go up. The Dynamo is going to get bombed. And, okay, so when the Dynamo's alone, you can kind of just shoot the zone. And the Dynamo doesn't paint well enough in this game to be a problem.
Oh, and the Dynamo actually pushing up, being aggressive, does not work out.
Down.
And that is a
Keeping them
double
alive.
coming on for the side of InkSync.
Cheeky lead snatch there coming out from the side of InkSync, as they are going to be pushing up onto the platform there with that splatter shot.
But Katie actually just got 2 kills right there.
Okay, Katie did drop to Nico, as we've seen some fantastic blaster plays so far.
It doesn't look like those 2 kills are enough, though. Blush getting pushed back. Going to have to watch him his kill from behind, and does get it. Okay. Very nice job.
And let's see if Blush pushes this plat again. I think this is probably good timing. Ooh, yep, there's that competitive player mentality that we're talking about. We think the same thing all the time. And so Blush is going to be looking to get in behind here. If they're not called out, this could be really bad. Behind 3 players right now, able to take out 2 of them.
And, oh god, okay, it looked like we were going to have the one-man hero, but no, this is definitely going to be a knockout. Splashdown to celebrate, and we're looking at a 2-1.
Yep, going to game 4. InkSync, I think, I can't make the call for sure, but I think they know what went wrong in the Clan Blitz game, and they're not going to let it happen again.
Yes, it seems like the Clan Blitz game, everything was just so decentralized.
Yes.
And this game, they really came together. I saw multiple pushes, usually instigated by a splashdown, where one player would go in with that kamikaze move, and then the other ones would be able to follow up in that chaos. Really solid, and something that I love is InkSync right now is smiling their butts off. They know that was a solid game, and they're ready to hopefully make this a 3-1 set.
Yep, absolutely. Going into game 4 here, Rainmaker Muscle Forge Fitness. This
One
is
of my favorite Rainmaker maps, to be honest.
Really? Okay. That's interesting. I've never heard anybody with that opinion before.
I don't know. I really enjoy the ability of this map. Usually it is very linear. You go all the way around to the left and you go up. But then sometimes you have that golden game where you activate the ink rail, you do that
It's like you go down the flow chart. It's like, is the enemy team 4 players down? Yes. Is the ink rail active? Yes. Do you need the lead? Yes.
And when that does happen, it's magical. And it's something that never really happens in solo queue. So you see it in competitive, and you're just like, wow, this is how the map is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's a good opinion.
Thank you.
That is a correct opinion.
I try my best sometimes. Though, of course, I am the one that put Schellendorf in.
That's fair, yeah.
In the bracket.
This guy made the map list.
Oh god, that was a sleepless night. We have 119 possible maps to be played in this tournament.
Wow. Is that including reset?
Yes, that is including everything, including amateur and redemption.
Wow.
But as we're saying this, we see Peach off the Dynamo, back on the roller, facing Alicia Cat's roller. It's going to be a battle here.
Player does drop to that Rainmaker pop, and yeah, the map's completely green right now. Frank's Hotdogs able to find 3 picks. That is 4 players down now. They do need to repop that bubble, which is some good news for InkSync. But Frank's Hotdogs, are they going to try for the left push? They're not going to try for the left push, are they? Yeah, they're going right. They're going right.
Yeah, I would definitely go right. We see that Inkjet almost online, but cut off. That was such a good pincer coming in from the side of InkSync. We have Jordan staying back.
Nico's going to go down.
Sure.
Jordan also go down, but Katie's going to trade for it. It's a 2v1 situation right now. It's just the roller. Able to find one, not finding the second, and that's completely halting that push there on the side of Frank's Hotdogs.
Rainmaker is the only mode where sometimes you have to make that suicide kill and it doesn't hurt you.
Yep.
Oh, and wow, just a drop down splat.
Maybe one more, maybe one more.
Splash down, and that
Finding
does get the kill.
Could it be another one?
I'm ready for it. No, dies to the curling bomb. And uses the splashdown of their own to evade that Rainmaker shot.
Oh, wow,
Gets
Katie.
a double kill and is actually falls to the Rainmaker. Kind of anticlimactic there.
So Nico just doing what they can. They want that lead. Oh, it's so close.
You know, 74-72. Might as well be back at the start on a map like this. But it did give them enough time to reset. We see InkSync coming back in the middle. Jordan staying back, trying to get an Ink Armor desperately so they don't get walled out here. Okay, that is a 3-down situation, and Peach going ham. Frank's Hotdog is on the tear, and they are
finding
just
the
pushing.
Picks. It's just ALCat. ALCat's the last one. They do find the pick on the Rainmaker with the curling bomb. And that is actually a very, very key hold just from ALCat alone.
I really wish Peach would have turned around right there. That would have been a clutch kill.
Yeah.
Trying to stay alive. Sometimes focusing on objective is good, but not always. And Blush winning that 1v1 thanks to the help of the Toxic Mist.
Right, they got that Inkjet ready. This is a Splash-O-Matic. Oh, actually going to get taken out from behind. That is, again, Katie, who we've seen do such a phenomenal job with these flanks and just being in the right place at the right time.
This has honestly been a set of splashdowns. Both teams have had excellent usage, getting doubles every single game.
Peach looking for that pick. There it is. Jordan
Nice
Fong.
kill on Jordan.
And that's their armor down. They don't have the armor now.
Okay, and it's only one left alive. Katie has to go absolutely huge here. Maybe not getting a kill, but staying alive to delay. We see this right side push coming. Blush is trying to get...
Oh.
No!
Panicking Jet,
So
unfortunately not
close.
working. But it's not over yet. As long as they don't let Peach do that, it could have been a push, but Peach did that.
You know, honestly, I'm pretty content with that. I want to see a Game 5 of this series.
Yeah.
This is getting insane. Okay, and we see Katie guarding so heavily, but a very nice placement of that Toxic Mist, allowing to know where they are. And I think they're going to try and go for a suicide push right here.
Yep, okay, they're just going to reset the Rainmaker.
Very
I
smart
agree with that
play.
decision. And there's now 2 players down on the side of Frank's Hotdogs, so even if they didn't reset that Rainmaker, it probably still would have been okay, but they do have a player back there up on the ramp. It's the roller. They need to get rid of that roller.
Has to get a kill here.
Okay, Nico does find the trade. That's now 3 players down, though, for the side of InkSync. I don't think they can make this push happen.
Peach is still alive.
What? How did Peach not die?
Seems like that splashdown came into play here,
Okay.
and though
Blush.
Peach finally goes down, that was a clutch moment.
Okay, no, but it's not done yet because the Rainmaker found 2 picks. Blush
Katie
is
has to go
alone,
big here.
But they had no support from their team.
And that is why aiming is important. Okay, actually gets a little bit greedy right there. Should have backed off. The blaster splash damage was too great, and they're still just trying to hammer it into this choke point.
Yeah, Nico with this splashdown ready. They're trying to find that pick. The Rainmaker's going to die, no problem at all. No, they get the reset off. That was so close.
And they're
oh,
only
man.
one. Oh, and that's a full wipe.
That's a full wipe, but the Rainmaker reset.
They are doing exactly what they should be doing right now, pushing up, making sure they have that control, so it's just an easy walk-in for this Rainmaker lead.
They do got to get it as 2 more players down again. That right side, they do find the lead. 22 points. 3 players down now on the side of Frank's
Peach
Hotdogs.
is the only
4
one. No,
players down.
Peach does go down. It looks like this is going to be a pedestal drop down. Can we get a dunk cam?
Maybe?
No.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, Bart going huge
4
right
players.
there. And this is finally a wipe on the side of
Everyone's
InkSync.
10 points left on the board. InkSync wants... They don't want Game 5.
Oh no, definitely not. Okay, and we see
Jets at the
Bart
ready.
having this Inkjet right here. Needs to get a clutch kill on it. Needs to not die.
Okay, so they seem to be using the Inkjet as like a panic special. That don't work.
It worked before the patch, but now because of that bigger hitbox. And that is a full wipe with 20 seconds left to go.
Yep, they can just hold the Rainmaker there. They just got to hold back with it and
Maybe do a little dance.
Yep, do some spins.
Quality
Shoot the
Splatoon
Rainmaker
2
directly in
gameplay.
the air. Jump off with the map with it right before time is done.
And there's Jordan actually pushing up for some reason.
No, they're fine. That's 4 players down. They're clean. They're comfy. They're fine.
And that is a set, if I've ever seen one. Really close, though. I
Yep.
was super happy watching it. It could have gone either way.
Yep, it came down to the last push. They dropped the Rainmaker. They picked it back up, and they just kept going.
Something that I think was so key there on the side of InkSync is they understood how it's not about one push. They knew how to lock them into their spawn and make it so it was a walk in the park and
Yep.
not that just slow fear.
And your push isn't done once the Rainmaker dies.
No,
they knew that.
not at all.
They knew that even if the Rainmaker dies, they can still keep the pressure up. They can have someone respawn. They can pop the bubble. They can grab it again and keep going. And it was that got them the lead. It was that second push after the initial first that got them the lead.
It's the scariest thing in this game when it comes to defending team is when you face a team that knows how to keep up that pressure.
Yep.
Because one of the most novice mistakes when it comes to Splatoon teams are the teams that think it's all about one push. They will go and they will go, and 2 members will die, and then it's
Yep.
time to back off.
Yep.
If you can keep them scared, you can take the win.
If you can keep the push going, there's no reason to stop the push.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
So now that we're winding down and eventually we will sleep, what have you been thinking of the tournament so far?
Wow, there's been some good games in this tournament. Of course, I didn't get to see most of Group A because I was playing in Group A.
That would be a big reason.
I watched a lot of the Group B games. Who did I see? Did Legacy almost beat Olive, I think? Almost? Not quite?
I actually think I'm the one who put that in the bracket. I can't remember.
Okay, that's
but
fine. That's fine.
The one match that still just comes to mind for me from the entire day is the Yami Saffron Rice match.
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch that one, so.
So Saffron Rice,
Yep.
when we were doing seeding, a very similar team to what they had at Squidstorm.
Yep.
We gave them a super high Squidstorm team because on paper they're a solid team. They were all been on really great, but they definitely busted out a little bit there.
Okay.
So we were much more conservative this time around, and wow.
Getting a bit of a lower seed, and they're
they
that's not
destroyed
right.
it.
Hey, AC, that's not the right seed.
Hey, sorry.
Sure, we'll prove it.
Let me DM you real quick.
Yeah.
No, I was super proud of them. I've been on teams with Fox since Splatoon started. So
Awesome.
though we know each other, he's my boy. He's my boy.
Yeah, I think For those of you who don't know, I play on Team Komodo, and I think we might be playing Team Saffron Rice tomorrow once the bracket gets going. So.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I will be finalizing that tonight. We should be releasing right after this round.
Oh, is it not finalized yet?
Well, actually, your bracket is the only one. We don't know about this one yet, but your bracket does have a tie.
Okay.
So we've just been trying to get all that squared away before we get everything in.
Got it.
Check our Twitter. Our Twitter will be updating exactly when all of Top Cut is ready. We will have 6 players in tonight, and then we will be getting the other 6 tomorrow from the Redemption bracket, which is cool.
Yep.
One of the biggest things I want to stress from this tournament overall, and pass me my pillow, I'm dying. This is my baby. That's also my baby. The amount of Splatoon 2 plush I have might be concerning. But the coolest thing...
Carter just activated his mic just so he could say it's concerning.
I love you too, Stream Master Controller, dude. But one of the coolest things about this tournament is the fact that players get to play so much. A lot of times it's super majors. If it's not round robin, you might go 0-2 and you go home.
Yep.
Which
something that I've noticed about Splatoon tournaments in specific is that the TOs, like AC here, do such a good job making sure that even if you lose a bunch of games, you're still playing a lot.
Yes,
so that you don't fly out just to play 2 games and then you're done.
Yeah, it's such a big deal. And if you're not familiar with how our bracket's working tomorrow we will be having the amateur bracket from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this bracket is exclusively for all players that have placed 7th through 10th place in pools. They will be able to face players of really similar skill levels. And like what we saw at Squidstorm with Frank's Hotdog taking the bronze match, they get hype. We have what some consider the #1 team in the world here today, but we also have teams that never really entered a Splatoon anything competitive.
Yep.
And
or even if they have played tournaments before, this is most likely their first LAN.
Oh, we have so many first LANs, especially because this is our first West Coast event.
Yep.
But those teams will get to square off. It's going to be 3 rounds of Swiss, and then the top 2 teams from Swiss are going to have a best-of-5 set.
Cool.
And then from 1 to 3 is when things get really interesting. We're having a redemption bracket, and this redemption bracket is a chance for players to guarantee their spot in Top Cut if they didn't tonight. It's going to be I want to make sure I have this right. It's going to be 3 groups of 4 teams, round robin, and the top 2 players from each group will then be able to go play in Top Cut. But even the players that don't make Top Cut, they have another 2-hour block to play Splatoon and play players that are a lot closer to their level now that the top 2 seeds are out.
Right. Awesome. No, super good organization, guys. Again, AC, as well as the team at EndGameTV, do such a good job with the broadcasting, with the organizing. These guys are awesome. You want to go to their tournaments in the future, make sure to check them out. And on that note, we're going to be cutting to a quick break before we get into this last game.
Last match of the day?
Last match of the day.
Right before we cut to a quick break, though, you did mention the staff. I want to give a quick shout-out to Czar, Apple, and Shiny Hunter Zach. They have been our cam ops, and they've been fantastic. And they've been sitting in a chair for hours, and that's really hard to do.
Yep.
And they do it well. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's go to a break.